Hi guys, Danny here once again, bringing you another video. I've had a lot of people asking me since I've started to do YouTube videos and stuff, and whispering me about certain add-ons and certain things about my UI and stuff and what it is. So I just thought I'd do a quick overview. Well, it might not be as quick, but an overview of my complete UI and the add-ons I use and how I set them up and stuff. This is already a preset of how my UI looks on one of my alts, which is my level 85 paladin. I don't mind messing around with the settings on this one. I don't really want to be doing it on my main warrior. But that said, let's get into the UI config. Okay guys, before I get into this week's video, I'd just like to announce the winner for the game time giveaway. It's going to be up on the screen now. There's going to be a new prize this week, and that should be up on the screen. Now, to win this prize, all you guys got to do is like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below to be eligible to win this prize. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll speak to you guys next time. Thanks. Bye. So first of all, let's go into interface and add-ons. Okay, so not very many, as you can see. I like to keep my UI pretty clean and tidy. I don't like too much stuff all over the place. I use Atlas Loot just purely for, you know, transmog gear and stuff, and just checking certain items if I'm going into a dungeon. I have Bagnon. Bagnon is just a cooler way of how your bags and stuff look. With your gold and stuff, everything's together. It just gets rid of the boring standard bags that you have with Blizzard's UI. So that's pretty fun. Not much of changing that I do in there. You probably can go into it and see things. The major one that a lot of people ask me for is this down here. It's called bartender, so /BT. That brings up the options. You just config the bars how you want. So give you a prime example. Say this is bar 1. Standard, it comes obviously, you know, it comes as where's the rows? Okay, 1 row, and it comes the other way. You can configure it how you want, how many rows you want. I tend to go with 4 rows. I play with the Razor Naga, so it's more or less set up for that way. The scale of how much size you want to increase it to, or whatever's your personal preference. Padding is the spacing that you want in between your abilities, so you want them spread out completely, you want them tied together. I just keep it to a 0, which is pretty clean cut. Keep it to 4 rows. The number of buttons that you want on that action bar, and obviously where you want to place it. So that's all that. Then you have the macro text here. So that's basically if you've made a macro key. For example, let's go here, let's just pick up my charge one and put it there for a second. As you can see, it shows you the text on the key itself. So if we go to bar 2, click on hide macro text, hide hotkey, that'll basically just take the hotkey letter number away, or it'll take the text away if you don't want the text to show. So that's with bartender. Just configure your bars, as many bars as you need. Then the cool feature I like about bartender mostly is the key binding option is very easy. It's a lot easier than Blizzard's standard key binding. On this you just click key bind and go over your keys, and just whichever one you want it set to, just push that key and set the keybind to that and just click OK and you're done, instead of Blizzard's one where you have to specifically go into it, find the specific action button bar and then click it. It's pretty difficult, so it's a lot easier with that. So it's bartender. And then the second thing, I had a lot of people asking me how I make it look all this nice fancy trim color. That's very simple. It's an add-on called mask. People have said they don't really know how to use it. It's pretty simple. You download mask and mask Darien, then click on load mask options. It'll bring a plus sign here. Just click on that, go on to add-ons. If you want everything, like I use an add-on which I'll get to soon, tell me and bartender, which mask can work with, then you just go to global, so it takes effect on both things. Then you just pick the one you want, that standard Blizzard one which looks pretty ugly. Then you got Darien clean, then you got dream, then you got zoomed. I just keep it on Darien, and then you can mess around with the opacity of it. I'll just keep it completely down. I like the darker color to it. So that's very simple. So you download mask and mask Darien for the Darien effect. Then the next add-on which I use is my cast bar. As you can see, I don't use a standard Blizzard one. I like quartz because it gives you the icon. It's a lot more configurable with quartz. Very simple. Just go onto that, click toggle bar lock. It'll bring down the ones that you want to use. It'll have like pet target, etc. And you just go on to, say for example, I don't want the play it one. I just click on, like when I click on an enable button, when I uncheck it, once I go away, then the player one will go away. Click enable and it's there. So you just set the ones that you really want. I have my focus one here because I have my focus frame just above for in arena. So I have my focus cast bar there. I have my player and my target. You can just use the width, scale and stuff to size it as much as you want, and then move it where you want, and then just click on lock, and that'll just lock the cast bars. They're a lot better than the standard Blizzard ones. I prefer it. So yeah, that's the cast bars that I use. The next set of add-on is my nameplates. As you can see, they're pretty decent. It gives you the debuffs on your target as well, and it's very clear and easy with health frames. That add-on is called tidy plates. So you can set them to like whichever type of plates you want by going over the primary spec theme. Then when you go into it, you have a bunch of different options. The main ones that I just really go down and tick, I have show enemy class icon. I go down, up, and make sure this is checked to show my debuffs. If you don't have that checked, then you don't need to type anything here. These are just a list of an example that they've done. It'll show your debuffs only on the target, which is pretty ideal. I'm sure you don't want everybody's debuffs in your group to show. It'd be a bit too much. Just the rest is configurable how you want it. If you want to change the color of it, if you want to, you know, change the size of it, if you want to add health text in there, numbers in there, that's personal preference. Now at the top, just a little line here, is Titan panel actually. So you have Titan panel. Usually it comes up with this ugly looking border which I don't like. If you go into Titan panel, transparency, just put the top completely down, so that'll take the border away of it. And then if you right click over something, for example, this is XP, how long to level, you can just click hide if you don't want it there. If you want to add anything, you just go into built-in plugins and just click on whatever you want, like performance. Now I added this up here. This tells me my latency, my memory used, my FPS, durability. So it's nice. It's not something too in your face. It's on the side. It's a very easy add-on to use and to configure. The next add-on that I use is my unit frames. Unit frames that I use are shadow unit frames. If you just do /SUF, usually when you start, this is kind of how your frames will look. You'll have all these icons and stuff, and you'll think, what the hell is going on here? So many different icons and stuff. They will go once you actually lock it. That's just to give you a rough idea of where the debuffs or the buffs and stuff will be. So the bottom is the debuffs, the top is the buffs of the target. The very first thing you want to do is go into enabled units and just whatever you need. Because I only PvP at the moment, I don't need raid, things like that. I have boss on the side here just in case if I do go into a dungeon or do like something that I need. I don't have party enabled. You can have party and just move it around wherever you want. You can have raid. There's so many different things you can have in here. So you tick the ones that you want, and then you go into unit configuration. So if I go into player, for example, you can enable the portrait, disable the portrait. You can have a 3D portrait, 2D portrait, frame size, increase the frame size, the width, the height of it, the bars. You can have power bar enabled, which is like mana for a paladin, or you don't need it. XP bar if you're leveling. Color by health. Now if I lock it, if I lock the units, shows pink, obviously for a paladin. So there's quite a lot of stuff to mess around with in here. Auras, pretty important. Enable debuffs. If you enable debuffs of yourself, you can click show your auras only. I don't need mine showing for myself. I have them at the top, so it's pretty okay. So yeah, you can just pretty much mess around with it however you like. If you go to the end text tab, you can change if you want. For example, you have percentage HP. You can tick current max short HP, full HP, in numbers, however you want things to be. You can play around with it and just set it how you feel is right, and you can just lock the frames and go back out of it. So that's that add-on. Let's see what else we haven't covered. Interface. Quartz. Prat is just another add-on. It's just for chat. It gives you like a timestamp of when you're talking to somebody, what the time is, gives you class colors. It's a neat little add-on. I like it. Just makes the chat look a bit more neater, cleaner. You can easily tell which class you're talking to with the colors, color identification. How I make my background black on here, a few people ask me. Just right click over general, go to background, and usually it's like this. Just click it down to the black. It's usually just put it down to the black and just say it as black over there, and you're done with that as well. Another add-on which I'll just set up one now to show you is a pretty good one. It's called Tell Me When. Now, Tell Me When is good for most classes to keep track of your buffs, your target debuffs. On my warrior, I have mostly a lot of them set, like Colossal Smash debuff. I have my Enrage set. I have my Trinket, use Trinket on there. I have Deadly Calm. I have Recklessness. I have Skull Banner. I have Wall. It's very easy to use. It's a lot less memory than a lot of other add-ons that are out there. I'll just show you how to configure it. So you just do /TMW, tell me when. You have your first box there, set in the position that you want. Then you click on whatever it is, if it's a spell cooldown, if it's a buff debuff, This one's a buff, debuff. Make sure you click enabled. Make sure you click a buff if it's a buff. Show timer text, show timer, and only check yours, because if you're in a group with another paladin, for example, and they put up Inquisition, you don't want it to be showing on your buff timer here, because you only want to check yours, obviously. And if it's a buff, then it's going to be on you as a player, so make sure you select player. Search the spell name as soon as you type in a few letters. Now we go Inquisition, it comes up over here. You select that, click OK, /TMW again to get rid of it. Now I'll show you how it comes up. There you go. So I got Inquisition up. It's very visible. It gives me the timer text that I need. You know, it's very in my face. I don't need to look around for my debuffs or my buffs or anything. And it's a neat add-on, and it's configured with Darien as well, Mass Darien, so it looks pretty nice with the UI. So that's pretty nice. Another add-on which people were asking me about was my previous text add-on. The text add-on that I did use was mixed scrolling battle text. I don't have that here anymore. Now I'm using, I'm pretty enjoying this one. The numbers are pretty nice and neat. It's an add-on called Nice Damage. So you can just download the add-on from not Curse Client. Just type it in Google, it should come up. It's called Nice Damage. So once you download the add-on, just go on to a website called the font, which is DA font. Just type that in Google, and you can just pick a certain text that you like. Once you download that text, install that text, just copy that into your Nice Damage folder, and for that font to become active, all you have to do is rename that font to font, and your original one that's active, just rename it to something else. So whichever font name is active and named as font, that's the one that will be available for you to use in game. I might do a separate video to show you how mixed scrolling battle text works, but I just don't have it now here, so it's not something that I'm using. So that's basically overall my UI. You can play around with things, set them up how you like, see what suits you, but those are the basic add-ons. It's not much, not going to take up much memory, and it's very simple, clean cut, and it's to the point. So hope you guys enjoyed this small UI workshop video. Should be back if I change anything in the near future, giving you some more updated information. Hit the like, follow and sub button. Hope to speak to you guys soon. Thanks very much. Daani.